Are you a writer looking for the best possible strategies to advance your skills, but you're not sure what programs to use, how to set up your desktop, and how to move forward to enhance your writing? The Show Me How You Write series involves best-selling and award-winning authors who bring their writing strategy to you and show you on screen, program for program, button for button, exactly how they do their writing so that you can steal some of their strategies and create the perfect combination for you. Now, remember, this is not the exact strategy for every single person. So take what works for you and implement it into what you're doing to learn and grow, and then check out the full series so that you can enhance what you're doing and pick the best combination possible to move forward with your writing. USA Today bestselling author Jeana Mann is known for writing swoony billionaires and alpha bad boys, and today she's going to give us a look inside of her writing process, talk about the Save the Cat method, how she pantses her books and why she does so, and we're even going to take a look at how she uses dictation inside of her writing strategy. So let's jump in. Jeana, how do you write?
Well, I write in a mess, actually. I hate to admit it. I've struggled. I've been in this for like 6 years now, and I've struggled. That was the main problem that I had in the beginning with getting my first novel published, was that I was disorganized and had trouble pulling together the plot. So I am constantly working to streamline my process. It's really important to me to write as quickly as possible with the highest quality output so that I can get more books into publication, because that is my source of income. So that's how I pay my mortgage and how I eat and feed my 3 dogs. So it's very important to meet deadlines and keep all that. So currently what I do is I use a Word document and I write in a linear fashion from beginning to end. Now, in the beginning, I just wrote whatever came to mind. So I ended up with pieces and pieces and pieces of story that didn't interconnect. And my beginning process was to print all those pages out and then sit on the floor and use scissors and masking or Scotch tape, cut up those pieces and tape them together to get some sort of linear story. And as you can imagine, that was not very productive. So then I bought a tool called Scrivener, which is really neat because you can use it like index cards. And I still do use it occasionally for plotting because you can type in your plot points and then you can move those index cards around into an orderly fashion. So I mainly use that now for whenever I'm writing a romantic suspense, where there's a killer and you have to leave clues throughout the story. I will use it for that process just because it really simplified and streamlined my process. But for now, I am writing just a regular romantic contemporary romance. So I am writing in a linear fashion from start to finish, chapter 1, chapter 2, on that Word doc. And I also occasionally I will use index cards, but like I said, Scrivener kind of took that away. I use whiteboards. I think I got these at Target or I can't remember, but you can get like 4 for $1.
Ooh.
These. And so I can write plot points and I can write, sometimes I need to go back and add something, but I don't want to get out of the flow of writing. So I'll just put it on this whiteboard. And I also have a mirror back there behind me, and I will use the dry erase markers and write out my plot points on the mirror. And I have another one that's twice that size in the hall. And I've been known to write the whole, all the main beats of the story on that mirror in the hallway. So people will come over and they'll be like, what is going on in there? Kill your mother-in-law, what is going on there? I have to really be careful about that. But I also use that. And then I keep a notebook, usually 5 or 6 notebooks, right at my fingertips so that I can write things down. This is my character sheet. because it's a long series and it's easy to forget people's names. I just had that mistake come up in my last book where I changed the person's name from book 1 to book 2. Not a lot, just, and only one person caught it, but this kind of thing will help me do that. And then eventually I will put this into an Excel spreadsheet. At least I plan on doing that. But I probably won't. But that's in theory. I'll put that in an Excel spreadsheet. And then I also will jot down plot points as I go. If there's something that needs to be added or missing, I will put it on here. So that's a really big help. And I should add also that something that's really helped me is using like 15 story beats. It's called Save the Cat story structure. And I will use that a lot of times just to get my thoughts in a line. And then I will end up writing something that's totally unrelated to that. But at least that helps me get my head in the game and organize what I'm doing.
So for people who have never heard of that, can you explain that just a little bit more to us?
Save the Cat?
Yes.
Structure. I cannot think of who wrote it, and I feel terrible. Or
we'll put it in the show notes.
Okay, good deal. So Save the Cat story structure is what they use to write screenplays and movies. And there are, I can't remember how many, but essentially there's only so many tropes in romance or stories, you know, like Cinderella and Romeo and Juliet, star-crossed lovers. So you can actually break down any movie that you watch on TV into the Save the Cat structure, and it will show your story arc. So you have your introduction, you build your characters, you have the black moment where it seems like everything is lost, and then you have the resolution where the knight in shining armor comes riding in to save the princess. So it helps you decide what kind of story you're writing, and then where all those plot points should be in the timing of your novel. So it's really important that people talk a lot about the sagging middle of a story. And I'm sure everyone's read a book where you get to the middle and then you're just like, oh, and you're paging through to get to some action. It will help you eliminate those things. And I think especially for a starter, if you can do something like that, it will really help you tighten up your writing process.
Fantastic. I love it. So you do a lot of your work handwritten. Do you feel like that helps you to think through your process a little bit better rather than typing it up for you?
It does. And I've done a lot of research on that. The easiest way for me to actually write the book is to type it. I can type through quite a bit. But I will on occasion switch to writing because there are studies that show that it triggers a different part of the brain. So anytime I'm feeling a little creatively stymied, I will go to writing just to trigger that different kind of stimulus to get my brain going in a different direction. And that has totally saved me. So there's no writer's block. I don't have time for writer's block. I have deadlines and schedules, and I gotta get that book out. So yeah, I do that. I should mention too that I also on my phone I have a app called Dictate, and you can dictate your story into your phone and then transfer it to a Word document. And I can dictate maybe 5,000 words a day.
Okay.
5. I've done as many as 10. And then it needs editing, of course, but this is fairly accurate. So I highly recommend that for anyone. And again, that triggers a different part of the brain. So, you know, if I'm not getting there through writing, I'm not getting there through typing, I will go to my Dictate app and then just dictate it.
So let me ask you, as you're dictating, because this is a really big thing with potential errors, are you kind of watching the words go on the screen as you're dictating it and fixing it as you go? Or are you just dictating your sections and then going back, rereading it and fixing it up after the fact?
I go back and reread it and fix it after the fact, because I've found that I get into the flow of the story and dictate. I've tried all different kinds of things. I think Dragon is one. I've used the software on my Mac, is not bad. But the dictate is fairly accurate. I'm really surprised. It puts in all the weird things that, you know, where, because sometimes I'll do it while I'm driving and I'll be like, oh, you know, way to go, way to run that red light. I'll find that in the middle of my story, but it's very accurate. So it's a little bit of a trade-off. You know, I know that I'll get a lot of words down initially, but then I'm going to have to go back and do the editing of it. But it gets the main story points down, it gets the flow down, and I found that my dialogue is much more realistic using the voice app.
That's actually a very good point, because I feel like, and I know people have mentioned this to me, my editors, when we're working, sometimes I will say words the long way, like cannot instead of can't. And as I'm typing things, I use the longer version because that's how it's flowing in my mind. But if I were to actually speak those things, I make it that shorter hand words. And that does help lend to more believable dialogue as well. So I think that's very important to stress as you are talking about how you're writing your story.
It is. I think it's been a game changer for me because I write like I'm from 17th century England. A lot of the times, you know, I cannot do this. This shall not happen. It doesn't talk that way. So it has been a game changer, and I can recommend that too.
That's so funny. I feel that very, very strongly. That is definitely something I should maybe be taking advantage of right now.
I get that comment a lot from my editor and my beta readers. They're like, nobody talks that way.
I'm like, but it's fancy. It sounds so good. No, it's not poetic. Stop. So funny. I love it. So you mainly write in one single Word document up on your screen. Do you make that full screen so that you don't see anything else? There's no distractions, or do you actually have other things on screen as well?
No, I will make it a full screen. I turn off my Wi-Fi. I turn off my phone because this year has been very distracting for everyone, I think. And so, yeah, I turn all that off, and that way I can focus and at least get, you know, try to get a couple hours in a day of uninterrupted writing time. And that's the only way I can do it. I turn off the notifications for text messages, you know, Messenger, all of that.
Yeah. Fantastic. So let me ask you, with your specific style of writing, what type of writers is this potentially going to work really, really well for to get those words out?
Well, people talk a lot about two types of writers. You have plotters and you have pantsers. And a pantser is someone who writes by the seat of their pants. And that's me. I love not knowing what's going to happen in a book. It's as thrilling for me to write that way as it is to read a book, you know, and not know what's going to happen. So I have done heavily plotting, you know, where I've plotted every single point, pages and pages. Like I had 25 pages just of notes and the plot. I've done it that way and it works okay for me, but I didn't enjoy it. And this is all about enjoyment. I mean, it is my livelihood, but the minute I don't enjoy it, I'll quit. So it's really important, especially when you've written a lot of books, to find a way to make it not only productive, but you know, to keep the passion.
That makes a lot of sense. Do you have any final words of wisdom to young writers?
I would say write what you like. Don't worry about trends and those things. Write what you like. Stick with it. If you get, you know, don't be turned away by rejection. this game is more about perseverance than anything else. So you can learn to be a good writer. You can learn to market your books. So just stay in the game. I didn't start writing until I was 50. So, I mean, I've always written, but I didn't publish a book seriously until I was 50. So, it's never too late. Start now, you're young, you'll be able to do amazing things.
Speaking of your books, what do we need to know?
I write hot, steamy, contemporary romance, bad boys, billionaires, and bachelors.
Now remember, not every strategy is going to be an absolute perfect fit for you, so take what works from Jeana's strategy and implement it into your own writing strategy, and then check out the other episodes of the Show Me How You Write series here on YouTube so that you can expand what you're doing and really enhance and grow your writing. And hit the subscribe and notification bell, because in the next episode we're talking with a brand new author with a strategy that might just be the best thing for you, with some great tips and tricks. So I will see you in the next episode. Until then, have a great day and stay inspired.